Hi there, welcome to Dave in the Shed. I'm Dave and this is my little corner of the world, also known as the Shed Mahal. Now if you're into DIY, 3D printing and model trains, you've come to the right place. Now fair warning, I do things a little bit differently. I have cerebral palsy, which means sometimes things get a little bit creative around here, but hey, it just makes it more fun. So if you like making, fixing, and maybe even breaking things along the way, stick around. Hit that subscribe button and let's build something awesome together.
Down in the shed where the magic begins, Dave's got his tools, let the fun commence. 3D printing dreams, watch him come alive. With every little gadget, man, he starts to thrive. Blueprints in hand, technology so keen, building up the future like a crafty machine. Model trains rolling on a whimsical track. In this shed of wonder, there's no time to slack. Oh, Dave in the shed where the vibes stay high. Creating with passion, he's reaching for the sky. DIY master in a vibrant samba flow. Hope you enjoyed the video, let's get ready to go. Let's get ready to go.
Well, welcome aboard to this Friday review. Friday update from Dave in the Shed, looking at what I've been doing and playing with this week. How you going, folks? Well, here's a couple of blokes carrying a canoe here at Possums Bridge. Carrying along, I thought, oh yeah, show you that. That's interesting. That's what's been worked on this week. I found a car, and I think it's meant to be some, well, Doctor Who. If not Doctor Who, it looks amazing. Well, it does have Who on the back there, just looking at the envelope. So that is, what do you call it? Buttercup. So found Buttercup, and I've whacked it over here near where pranged in the trees, near where the TARDIS is and the Daleks, and of course the Penguin, wondering what's going on. The Garrett running in the background with the with a rake of Puff and Billy cars, all 3D printed. The cars are all 3D printed. I think I've shared the files. Well, I have shared the files on my page. Garrett files are on there. The Garrett is running onto Bachmann 060 Porter tanking and chassis, all 3D printed, all that. I will soon, now that my printing and 3D printing is improved. One of the first things I printed with this Garrett is to sit down and reprint it and rework the parts, because it's a bit rough compared to what I can print now. So that's going to be one of the future coming projects, to rework that, redo it, reprint it and do a better quality. But there you go. The South African narrow gauge Garrett pulling a string of Puff and Billy cars. Plausible, could happen. The church, did I show you the church last week? Can't remember. So the church is there, been doing a little bit of work on the main street, not too much. Main work's been around the back. We'll wander around. If we wander around the layout, bits and pieces. Haven't done any more work on the Orca, apart from getting it in place and getting it located. We'll wait for the train. Come around. Probably should turn the work lights off, even though they're great for, they get in the bit of the road. Or they would take the wide angle off the camera. I've got the wide angle lens on the camera because it makes it easier, but then you see bits and pieces I don't want you to see. Anyway, what I've been working on is, round here, is, if you remember a couple of weeks ago, I had to replace some track. I've been placing some of the old track and getting things lined up, getting running. So this week I sat down and, well, not sat down, stood up and re-scenic this whole area. So I redid the grass, redid the ballasting around that track that I put in. That's all come up pretty good. Swing the camera around. I wonder if there's a way to slow it down. There probably is a way. So when I pan it, it slows down. Anyway, so we've sceniced all this bit and the shed's back in place. Done all that. I've still got to set up the fuel point. There is a diesel tank and that in there, and the fuel bowser to fuel up the locos. But there we go, that's around the loco shed. Now the loco shed was originally the end of this section, and as the layout grew we just punched a hole through the back of the loco shed wall and head up the hill. Now in this section, this was never meant to be a scenic section, it was only going to be a storage section. But it's I've done a bit of work on scenic, and this week one of the big things was the apiary, the bee farm. Not so much the apiary is the building where they extract the honey. The apiarist is the guy who actually does the extraction. But anyway, if you know the family link, shout out. But there you go, that is the beehives, all 4 stands, all looking like they're really healthy up there. Some of them still have to be painted, but there we have the scene of the honey being collected. And up here we have the fun rule scene. So I've done a bit of work on that. Heading up to Ryobi Bridge, bits and pieces. This was never meant to be a scenic area, as I said, but now I'm getting more and more into it. I think I'm going to put a fake stone wall just along that back bit, just to tidy that up, along where that beam is, behind where the beehive is. Just I don't know, just to try something different, try and tidy it up, just to neaten it up, just to make it a bit more presentable. And the thing about building, although it would be hard to fit it in, I've been umming and ahhing about building a fake factory here on where the traverser is. I'll see if we can zoom out where this traverser section is. But yeah, I'm not sure, because the actual traverser cartridges at the end, they have to poke under. If you see in there, they've got to go under the bridge to fit in just a little bit. So that's, yeah, anyway, interesting to see what we can come up with. Interesting fact, when I did all the wander down here, when I did all the gluing down, I put down the put the ballast in. The process is I put the ballast in and then I glue it down traditionally, and while the glue is still wet I come back with a static grass over it to give it that grassy effect. So that's my process, and let it dry. So I put down the ballast, use the old eyedropper and water down PVA glue and water that down, and while that is wet then I sprinkle on the static grass. Okay, that explains what I do to give that grassy track effect, and it works quite well. Interesting fact, let's get after I'd done all this and got this down, the top end of the layout stopped working. There was no power supply. So somewhere in this section here, there's glue in a joint, which is not surprisingly, but I discovered that the bus feed to the top end of the layout wasn't working. So I've had to put a new, I haven't tidied it up, but I've had to put a new bus feed in between the top and the bottom of the layout, and it's just, I won't show you, it's just a cable here that I've got to tidy up. But yeah, we've had to put a new bus feed between the 2 ends of the layout, which has fixed the problem. We've got power up, which is quite bizarre, because I never actually went through, I just laid all the cabling. That's the DCC power bus that runs the trains, that I assumed it was all in place and working, and after I did some scenic work, layout, top end stopped working. And had to go back and find out where the gap was, and then found out that the bus feeder, yeah, wasn't working. Anyway, let's wrap it on. This week, sadly, we had 2 locos die on me. I've repaired them since, well, repaired one. Arthur decided he was going to spin out his sound chip, which caused a massive short, which also had me head scratching for a while. I'd never have a loco die like that and short out layout, so I've had to rebuild Arthur, pinch some bits from the upper mech and rebuild things. The sad part is I now have no more spare mech, so 3415, which is running on an old Bachmann GP38 pre-DCC days that I then DCC chipped. The chip in that has died, so I'll have to get some new chips. Now I'm not going to spend any more money till after I come back from holidays on the layout. So after I come back from holidays, about a month and a bit's time, I then might put a sound chip in it and do all that. But anyway, so 3415's offline. Run all spares. Arthur is back online. He's idling. How I fixed Arthur was I pinched the whole chassis from one of the from D2 and put D2's mech underneath Arthur, and then rebuilt a mech for D2. Anyway, that's a long story. Anyway, D2. So we've got one logo. Anyway, now up in this section, I also complete inner line here. We were having a few issues with it. So I've pulled that out this week and relayed that whole inner section. Now, from the way the shelves were built and all that, these shelves here have dropped in bits and pieces, and there was a big dip in the track. So what I've done is this week I pulled out that bit of track, replaced it, put it back in, got it all nice and lined up so it's a nice gentle curve, and reballasted it and re-landscaped it so we can use the run round loop. And I've just been doing a bit of landscaping and tidying up in this area with a bit of the grassing and cleaning up. So yeah, I've got to come back and do some more bits and pieces. But anyway, just a bit of a tidy up. All these bits were never meant to be part of a layout, now being brought up to being presentable, which is quite strange. But anyway, there we are. Well, that's about it for this week. Don't forget, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. Either way, thumbs up or thumbs down, need to know. You can like, I just talked about like, thumbs up anyway. Subscribe. If you've not subscribed to the channel, please do. I don't know how you found this video, but I hope you don't find it too boring. Excuse me, having a bit of a cough in the background. If you've got any comments, please comment. Love to have your comments on the video, good, bad or ugly. Just let me know. Or if there's any questions about what I've done, how I've done, let me know. But that's it for this week. Hopefully next week we'll have another video. We'll talk about something else. I've got a couple of projects on the plan. One of them is a little bit interesting. I have a theory that I'm working on that I need to test. But we'll talk all about that soon. So anyway, we'll take a bit of footage of the Garrett running around just to show you the end of the video. Now essentially this is a point-to-point layout. It was designed to be point-to-point, but it does have, oh, we've had an accident. We're about to have a prank live because while I've been talking, we've lost some characters. Here we go. Garrett's been running around finding the background with nothing, but there we go. Live prank. Look at that. It's always away. That's been running around in the background, and then as soon as we come to look at it with the camera, that happens. Anyway, that's it for this week. Come on.